Lori says, with your school-age kids with anxiety with eating, do you also refer to counseling or a psychologist? I've had several kiddos in evaluations lately that had a significant trauma, like like a choking incident or getting really sick. Their pickiness and avoidance to swallow food isn't always consistent. Therefore, I'm not sure how appropriate consistent feeding therapy is. It seems more like it's anxiety-based. Oh my goodness, you're singing my song. Well, I still like those kids to go through feeding therapy with me because I can show them how to build confidence and become a more adventurous eater. But what I'm not qualified to address, I'm qualified to screen, but to address is a true anxiety disorder. And what you're describing is likely a child who has this underlying anxiety. And even if I teach them how to eat well, they may just assign the anxiety to something else. Like now they hate school, or now they're afraid of dogs, or whatever it happens to be. That's the thing about anxiety. Anxiety is all about avoidance. It's all about avoidance. It's not the anxiety you have to worry about. It's the fact that the anxiety makes you avoid certain things, certain situations, certain foods, right? Especially if you've had an experience that's created a little bit of fear, like a choking incident or severe vomiting, or sometimes it's even not that big of an issue. Like, gosh, I had a kid who got a popcorn kernel stuck up in the gum in one of his teeth, and that's what caused his eating disorder, because he started to become scared of eating popcorn, and then he started to become scared of eating something like popcorn, and then he didn't want to eat anything crunchy. You see how this goes? When kids have underlying anxiety that is elevated more than, say, you or me, it doesn't take much to have that bucket spill over, and now they're really in trouble, and they start to avoid a lot of different things. And why do they avoid certain foods? Because foods show up: breakfast, lunch, and dinner, plus snacks. So if you're walking around with anxiety like this, way up here, right, and you're trying to figure out why you feel that way, it's very easy to make your brain think it's the food's fault. Pediatric feeding disorders often accompany anxiety disorders. Anxiety often goes along with pediatric feeding. It's kind of a vicious cycle. So I absolutely would suggest that that child get some counseling just to explore other issues around anxiety, because that's only going to help your mission, Lori, to help that child become an adventurous eater. And that way you're really addressing the whole child,